We should be... Insert correct disk. The correct disk is in. Or maybe I just need to reinsert the CD drive. Uh-oh. Browser folder not responding. Did I do something the game didn't expect me to? Removed most of the streaming restrictions for the game that must not be named. Most of them? Wait a second. Hold on a moment. You gotta link me to this article. I want to read this. Because we could be streaming Persona 5 right now. Like, they better have removed all of that. Like, if they actually took those down, they saw the fan backlash to that, and it's like, yeah, we got a PR fire. We can... Look, I understand you don't know how YouTube works, but we've got, like, a nightmare happening here on social media, so maybe help us out a little bit, okay? I want to go fight on the front line. Instead, I'm rotting away in this stinking place. Really? I don't like wars. Why would someone start a war? That guy who passed through here with the huge bag. Did he look suspicious to you? No, I don't think so. But weren't you the one who thought he was suspicious? You know me, I'm always like that. I'm telling you, people who eat pickles are nice people. I envy him. Goshel pickles are the only pickles I can't eat. You're really confusing, you know that? I know. Why do you think I ended up here? There's no reason for that scene to be there, except to open you up to Disc 2. It's just like this game is full of that. Just little beautiful moments with characters. I'll read that in a second. I've got it open in another tab. Like characters that aren't even central to the plot. You can just watch them going about their lives. Like, I feel like I know those two a little better now, and we were only meant to interact with them once. Conductor said we'll be arriving at the Summit Station soon. Miss Garbage? She's sleeping. Might as well. Just leave her be. Princess believes what she heard about Queen Braun. His name is Dork. It is now. His original name is, Albert Steiner, or Adelbert Steiner, depending on which version you go with. But it's kind of an in-joke between me and my buddies that we always name this character Dork. Well, one buddy. The other guy was... In hindsight, he wasn't really my friend. At least the other one apologized later on. That guy I consider my friend. Queen Braun would never start a war. It's all a misunderstanding. She'll see that when she talks to the Queen. I need not concern myself with such matters. My only mission is to protect the princess. Summit Station! Summit Station! Ryza. It's called Adblocker Plus. I don't care if you use it on here yet because I'm not affiliated. I don't get revenue from that kind of thing. Whitelist everywhere else, just this one site. Like, seriously, man. Take care. We'll have to wait a while until the car to Alexandria arrives. How long will it be? It arrives when this car returns to Bowden Station, so about as long as you just spent in the car. Why don't you go wait in the rest area up ahead? Okay. What's wrong, Dork? Princess. Hey, what did I say about... It's Alexandria! We're finally home! Really? We're home. But I still can't see the castle. Princess, Alexandria may only mean the castle to you, but... Hey, are you making fun of me for being naive? No, I'm not. It's okay. Let's go. On this website called Game Radar. Oh, I see. No new weapons, but new abilities. Maybe. This defense. God, they've got all the... Good thing we gave her one of those before we left. Yeah, we didn't really leave a whole lot for these guys, did we? We kind of started leveling up Steiner here. Sorry, Dork. I need to remember. Where to? Rest area. Do we go north or south? Let's go with the path that was of least resistance while we were up there. I'm more comfortable out here. Rest area is full of rowdy men. I wanted to stay by his side, but I have my work too. So that's the rest area, which means we should go this way. Do you know how cable cars work? Yes. Good. Alternate name for Steiner, Stoner. I mean, that's half the fun of these games, isn't it? Is giving yourself a little bit of a... No, this is the right... No, both staircases lead to this spot. Let's gather information while we wait for the car to Alexandria. Well, might as well talk to the guy who looks like he's in charge of this place. Car to Alexandria will be arriving shortly. Speaking of... What was that? Car to Lindblom just departed. I missed my ride. That voice sounds familiar. Not yet. Stuck here working in the middle of nowhere. So there's a gate to airships. Ships can't pass through. How's business? It's always busy here. You sell anything special? Ah, yes, you gotta try our famous bundt cake. Perfect gift for the family. Take one home today for your loved ones. It's the world-famous Southgate bundt cake. I can't actually buy it, can I? It's not letting me. I mean, I'm interested, but I guess that's not a healing item of any kind. Supplies together before I cross the border? Oh, why not? More weapons. More armlets, gloves. Would she learn anything from headgear? I wonder. Just in case. They give you a lot of leeway with the rubber helm here. Like, even if you haven't learned the abilities yet, they give you a chance here. Like, we're on the second disc, by the way. Like, what, 12, 16 hours in or something like that? Let's see here. I can't speak for that, Ryza. Like, it's just a particular delivery style. It's proven to work, I think. Not in your case, but... guess like you and me are typically the outliers in those kinds of situations. Yeah, Garnet is way overdue for a new weapon. Like, she learned everything this rod was going to give her a long time ago. Although, the benefit to this is now we're going to learn a long-needed ability of Scan. So finally, once we team up with the guy who has all the elements at his disposal anytime he wants, we will finally have all the abilities available to us. We'll have the means to both figure out what an enemy's weakness is and then capitalize on it. I mean, I have no... You're casting kind of a wide blanket there, but then again, I have no frame of reference in that, so... You do. You've lived there for a while, so... I'll trust your judgment on that one, Ryza. That's... Missed my ride. What am I gonna do now? How the heck should I know? You were the one who wanted to watch the scenery while eating Southgate bundt cake. I'm gonna be late returning to Lindblom. There's nothing we can do. I won't tell the boss. Thanks, buddy. See another bundt cake. Oh, jeez. Those guys look familiar, aren't they? Hooligans, you mean, Ryza? Are you here to kidnap the princess again? Who's the big tin man? What? How dare you? He's the captain of the Knights of Pluto. Oh yeah, you're one bad actor. Have you no respect? Hey, big guy. You shouldn't waste your breath on criminals. You must be Cinna. What are you doing here? Hey, check it out. It's the princess. What are you doing here? When we escape from Evil Forest, you shouldn't waste your breath on criminals. Let's try talking to both of them here. We escape from Evil Forest. Alright, this guy needs to be stopped. Dork! That's enough! What? Can't I even talk to my friends? Friends? But they're... Adelbert Dork. Yes, ma'am. He's being scolded. How embarrassing. Oh, there's the train. Cable car to Alexandria has arrived. It's here. But you're going to Lindblom. I know that, but you're going to Alexandria. Yeah, I'm heading to Trino. I'll see you off. Marcus is going to Trino too? Let's go, Dork. Dork? Are you mad at me? No, ma'am. I'm coming along. Alright, but before we do that... Do I have anything for you? Ah, yeah, I do have a letter for you. Letter from Grimo? Kabow, thanks for the delivery. Feel so sad whenever I see Mary, the part-time worker. Have you ever fallen in love? I've never fallen in love before, Kupo. If watching someone else in love is so difficult, I wonder how difficult it is to actually fall in love myself. I'm never gonna fall in love. It's not worth it. You say that now. It's a subject I bounce back and forth in my head all the time, honestly. I think we've talked about this before, but my parents splitting up kind of soured my perception on marriage. It's like, these are the people that brought me into this world, and even they didn't have it figured out. Like, what kind of chances do I have? And there are so many things that can go wrong. Like, you could devote, like, 10 years of your life to somebody, and then someday they decide it just doesn't work anymore, and for some reason, for the next 4 decades, you owe them half your income. Always make sure before you commit to a person. I guess that's the lesson I've learned from this. Which is just... there's a reason the process of, like, intimacy and dating and all that happens before the marriage part. Why is Marcus going to Trino? You going to Trino too? Marcus has got a real deal in Trino. A deal? We'll be departing for Alexandria shortly. You better get on the car. Princess, let us go inside. Of course. Now departing. Oh, wait, hold up. I should have equipped everybody with something before we started this. Oops. Where are you going to Trino, Marcus? To save our brother. Who? There's only one man that I call bro. That's Blink. We've been gathering info to cure his petrification. We finally learned about an item called Super Soft that cures all forms of petrification. What about Cinna? Cinna's going to the Tantalus hideout in Lindblom to tell the others. I see. It's my turn for questions. Yes? Where's Sean? We separated in Lindblom. Got rid of him as soon as he got you to Lindblom, huh? How could you say that? It's only because Sean kept treating me like a child. I don't care about him. Fine. Then I don't know anything. Alright, last chance here. I think it's the last chance anyway. Can't equip that yet. Minus strike is learned off the sword. All of these have abilities I've yet to learn. There's no sense taking off any of them. Literally, the only thing I can upgrade for any character right now was that glass armlet and the air racket. I don't even have an accessory for this character yet. And despite all that digging we did in the Chocobo Forest, my goodness. Is there any way I can help? Help with what? Well, I was partly responsible for what happened, so... No thanks. We'll be fine on our own. But wouldn't it be better if... What was that? Might be engine trouble. Please remain in your seats while I check. Ah! It's a demon! A demon with a pointy hat! A pointy hat? What's wrong? What's going on? Uh-oh. Remember how I said there'd be an easy target for our frustrations here? Mission: retrieve Princess alive. Isn't that the one we saw on the cargo ship? Monster! I'll finish you off this time! Wait, Dork! Tell me something. Why do you want to capture me? Princess, it's too dangerous. Please stand back. Mission: retrieve Princess alive. It's no use. It doesn't understand. But... this is not a fight Garnet can survive. It doesn't even recognize that she is the princess anymore. Like, this guy has been... I mean, he did crash headfirst into the gate and survive an explosion. Like, that messed me up a little bit, too. It's kind of amazing he just walked out of it with a screwed-up hat. In fact, I think I'll take that hat for myself. Neat little keepsake of this battle here. So, for all the good it'll do me, let's scan this guy really fast. I think this does... yeah, not worth it yet. I think we're actually going to do a lot more damage with just a straight-up attack on him. Can't scan him. That's odd. I don't remember that. I had no idea scan could fail. Is there any other Final Fantasy game where that can happen? And oh yeah, the wings are a little screwed up too. Used to have such a flowing and beautiful span, but now there are kind of you know, he's perfectly fine, except for the brain damage. And I've still got shrapnel from the gate, like, lodged in my ribcage here. One of my eyes is kind of off-center. I think I need glasses. We've actually got some leeway here. Air racket's kind of fun like that. Like, basically, this is a magical airsoft gun, is what Garnet's using right now. Couldn't steal anything. Minus strike doesn't become worth it until way later, I find. Like, when you've got enough health to lose to the point where it does more damage than your basic attacks. Yeah, that too. It's a shame we couldn't actually see that cutscene during the stream. You know, because my first disc is a wee bit messed up. Where did I... oh, there it is. It's on the couch behind me. Well, come on then, give it to me already. Let me have it! He actually did, because he hit me with a critical there. I learned a lot of my humor from Looney Tunes. Now that I think about it. Well, I guess we'll never know. That's all he had. We needed a full party of 4 before, plus magic of our own. But there... After everything he had been through... After everything he had done... That's kind of an interesting way of bringing it around, too, because these guys haven't leveled up since the last time... during all of the things we were doing. Like, we're actually way ahead of them in terms of power right now. So why not give you an enemy, a boss, from a reasonable point in the story where you could fight that guy? An enemy from where an enemy that you could fight before at that level. Princess. Bermesia was attacked by an army of black mage soldiers. I know. Those mages wiped out the people of Bermesia. Who would do such a thing? Are you serious? How ignorant can you be? What do you mean? Stop it, dork. I know who did it. Princess? We're almost in Alexandria. I must go to the castle and see my mother. She'll listen to me. She hopes, anyway. Think we're almost there. So, you already heard about the attack on Bermesia? Of course. Not like Dork. You've changed. Me? You mean the way I talk? Not just that. Well, a lot has happened. Oh, speaking of which... Yeah? I've been through tons of battles. I'm a seasoned pro now. What are you talking about? We need to find Supersoft and save Blank, right? You're gonna come along even if I refuse, right? Of course I am. This is so exciting. I've always wanted to see the marvelous architecture of Trino. I can hardly wait. On second thought, she hasn't changed that much. Take care. I'm not gonna repeat that joke, Arpuck, but... Road splits up ahead. Go right to reach Trino and left to reach Dolly. Dolly. We haven't been there in a while. Alexandria Station. Anything you can sell me, buddy? I think I see a treasure chest back there. That little yellow dot, like what Garbage is looking at right now. Doesn't that look like a treasure chest to you guys? Maybe I have to come back here when the train's not in? Welcome. So this was her part-time work. She runs this shop on the other side. No amount of hardship can tear our two countries apart. 11th Regent of Lindblom, Sid the 8th. The Berkmia cable cars were built to commemorate the 20th anniversary of friendship between Lindblom and Alexandria. To Dolly, do not vandalize the farm. And this, to Trino, use caution when traveling at night. I mean, it's always night. There's not exactly a day-night cycle around here. I don't think the gate works right now. You gotta go to the other gate if you want to go to Trino. But wait. What, you want to pass through here? Sure. We got a gate pass, so it's no problem. I mean, I may as well, right? I want to see if anything's changed over here. Like, it's that natural curiosity. We're starting to get to the point where I don't remember things, or maybe I just never went over here in the first place. Didn't go over enough, at the very least, to where it is burned into my brain. Look at that, you even see airships wandering around now. The overworld has changed so much. Like, little things that are different from disc to disc. other things they could load into the world, into the... And look, we even have Marcus on the team with us now. Why did I waste the preemptive strike on Garnett? Although 99 damage on that, that's pretty respectable for her. I think I remember this now. Because I was naturally curious as a kid, like, what it would look like if... Because everybody's got... The camera zooms in on a character when they deliver the final blow in battle, right? Sometimes. So I think I went to some easy battles at first, simply because I wanted to see what that looked like with Marcus. Because this is the one time you actually have him on your team. Iron Sword, hat. He doesn't have anything too impressive here, but he's in our team, so we may as well help him out a little bit. Are you a Warhammer 40k fan? I know of the franchise. I haven't gotten super into it. I've never had the money to. I'm somewhat familiar with the universe. I understand the basic concept. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of like grimdark settings, that's kind of the catharsis of that game, is the idea that there are no good guys. Basically the whole concept is everybody's fighting with each other, everything sucks, and you're probably gonna get eaten by Tyranids. Have fun! Feels like it's been forever since I last visited. And why is your title God Emperor on Discord? It's just a random thing that I heard somewhere. This guy's gone. Where did he go? Hold on a second. Don't have anything to send, eh, buddy? Closest to the good guys are the Tau, I'd say. Oh yeah, I mean, like, you know, just give up all your beliefs and hopes and sterilize yourself so that you can't spread your inferior genes to anybody else, and yeah, you can be led to a more beautiful future. I'm sitting in for my dad. It's 100 gil per night. Not tonight. But I am gonna go over here and get a fortune. This must be color fortunes. I've never seen the real thing before. Let's try. Today will be a day filled with deja vu. Familiar sights and neat foods tasted long ago. Lucky color is white. Kid. Alright, sweetheart. I know you're trying your best, but... And that's the way it was explained to me anyway, Javelin. Like, you might want to look that up on the wiki or something and make doubly sure. Thanks for coming back to visit me. I updated the useful info bulletin board. Check it out. Useful info. Think before equipping your new weapon and armor. Check to see if you are about to learn a new ability. It's up to you whether to equip the new item right away or wait until you've learned the abilities, but if you're short on money, please remember that we also buy items. Detailed information on our products. We add stat ability to use the effects. You enjoy card games. I think I know what the second mark on the card means. If your card's second mark is P, the battle will be 4PL1. The green numbers go against each other. Wait, what? If your card's second mark is a P. What? So you'll be using your first number versus the opponent's third number. Green numbers go against each other. If yours is a P, but if it's an M, it'll be your first number versus their last number. Press square to play the card game with me. Eve subboard. What kind of cards do I have right now? Let's go save again, because she's probably a lot better than she was before. And I'm just gonna I just want to be doubly sure we don't lose anything important, because we're gonna need these cards very shortly. I keep mentioning this. I keep saying that something important is gonna happen with them in a hot second. So we're gonna need all the power we can get. I thought those numbers were connected. Like, it was maybe like attack and health, but now I understand. I can't believe I've gone all this time without understanding how matchups work in Tetramaster. How did I survive as long as I did in this game? I'll have to buy something from the store if I win. Okay. Well, we've got ones across the board there. Big old 9. So against physical opponent, against somebody who uses a lot of physical cards, that'd be useful. A lot of attack power and some defense there. This is interesting. Tons of health, but no attack power. So we basically win by war of attrition. Because its armor is the thing. So it'd be like, the monster is like trying to dent it, and eventually its like fists are bleeding. Its palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti, and it just gives up and goes home. What do you think of the Overlord games? Great concept. I love them a lot, except for the fact that all of the, quote, heroes that you fight against in that game are definitively worse people than you are. It kind of plays it safe in that sense, but other than that, like, being able to play as the, quote, bad guy for once is a good thing, I think. Enjoy it quite a bit. Well, let's just worry about coverage now that we've got some power cards here. Like something that can... I don't particularly want to throw away my Ironite card potentially, but that's one of the best cards I got. And one more pointing off to exactly the right. Yeah, alright. Big ol' bomb. Explodia, we can call this one. She does have new cards. So theoretically, if I fight that with a physical opponent, because what I want to do here is essentially... Yeah, so this would be 3 versus 1. So, theoretically, I would win this battle. Yes, okay. Oh, son of a... You did that on purpose, alright. Okay. I see how it is. How? How even? I'm not gonna stand for this. I hope you know. I'm not walking away from this with... And last card. So technically I win. It wasn't a runaway victory, but... Card games and RPGs, yeah. What's this card? A Yeti. Play a rematch? Nah. I'm gonna walk away with my 1 win. And hope that's good enough. The X, we haven't covered that symbol yet. Interesting, interesting, interesting. There's gotta be new rules associated with that. And of course, they teach you about how the P and the M work without talking about the letter you could potentially get from that battle. I was right, it is just essentially random, because some things don't work the way you want them to. Some things just don't make sense. Card games on motorcycles, baby. Although, I guess there are no motorcycles in this world yet. Chocobo works really hard. Wish they'd let him out in the sun sometimes, though. How about here? Can we walk into this place yet? Nope. Still watching over that room. I mean, we don't have to worry about Vivi anymore, so it's not like we're causing trouble at all. Wind's still blowing, so we can't get anything up there. Hey, you're a cutie. Want to go with me to an observatory nearby? View is wonderful. That's what I want to say, but I can't leave my post. Somebody snuck in during my shift. The mayor was furious. He sounds just like... I've changed. I used to feel so embarrassed when he would talk to me like that. I'm not embarrassed at all anymore. It says Mayor's Key here. Get behind the village and find some more treasure. But the wind is still blowing and the mayor is still here. Does Final Fantasy 15 have a card game? Card games and cars is close. I don't think so. Hold on, is the old lady still out here tending to the crops? No, I can't actually help myself to that treasure chest now. Haven't you been here before? You're a strange girl. There's nothing to see here. Wasn't so a year ago. It was a beautiful farm. Now the farm's been destroyed and everyone's holed up underground. Don't you think Queen Braun's policy changes are a bit drastic? Of course. Yes, I do, ma'am. I'll do my best to get you back your farm. You really are very strange, you know that? Strange enough to... didn't mean to do that. Strange... I was about to say, strange enough to steal your treasure. It's gonna send me back to the overworld, isn't it? Yeah, in fact it is. I think we've wound down by now. Rage at a puzzle game and have a nice chill time with an RPG. That's a full stream, actually. Give everybody a little bit of everything. Then again, this is the kind of game that benefits from sitting down and playing it for a long time. Look at that. Does she even comment on... Yeah, she doesn't. It's like, oh, just help yourself to that. Nobody's gonna need it now anyway. What if elixirs are just energy drinks? Like they had that there so that they could give themselves a pick-me-up during a hard work day or something? It's a potion, but with added caffeine. I've heard stranger things. Alchemy is weird like that. I love coffee. That's all he's gonna say until I have the 3 coffees he's looking for, isn't he? Uncle Sid hired Tantalus out of concern for my safety. Means the Tantalus Theater Troupe is also a group of bandits. I wonder if they're always stealing wherever they perform. Well, I think we've been doing all right for ourselves here. Plenty of extra lines of dialogue. I wonder if that girl, that one girl, comments on what we just did here. Maybe this is how they cut down on some resources. It's like, well, we can't explain why people can't go here yet, but we're gonna deload some of the areas in the disk. It's like, you can't go here because the guard's watching the gate now. So we don't have to worry about actually putting that data on here, like making that a traversable area. Things like that. I'm sorry, we're not open during the day. Or do you need medicine? I don't really, but I was kind of hoping she would comment on Dork being in the party. I live for that kind of thing, man. Like, I always push limits in games like this because I want to see if I get rewarded for it. Because it's such a satisfying moment when that happens. It's like, they thought of that. Hey, aren't you guys clever? Could go back in the ice cavern if I want. I wonder if I can call it Chocobo. Nah, there aren't any footprints nearby, and I'm not gonna bother looking for them. I don't think there are anyway. Let me in. What do you want? Let's talk. Gate's still broken. A lot of people looking for work. Got the pass. So you shall let me pass. Oh, never mind. You actually shall pass. Carry on. Now I'm gonna warm up my vocal cords again. Hold on a second. You shall not pass. You shall not pass. Trino's only a short walk from this gate. Hey, we gotta lower the gate first. Show me your pass. Yep, that's it. Why do they always need to check the pass, I wonder, if the person is already inside? Huh. That's an interesting... Just making sure that people who got past the first border actually belong on this side of the border. Just a great big old barrier between the two. For once, the wall actually worked. I mean, it didn't stop us when we were in an airship, but... If I remember correctly... Okay, so remember at one point, I was talking about how when I was a kid, I would grind out this party of characters to the point where Garnet would be able to use all of her summon abilities early on, like before she was supposed to. This was that spot. Like, these were the highest level enemies you could get. I'm gonna shut my mouth now. But yeah, let's just say there are reasons I grind here as opposed to anywhere else in the story. This particular spot. Bunch of great enemies. I forget if there's anything to actually explore for out here, but hey, we can learn some new skills, so... Oh yeah, there is something. We won't understand the story implications of where we're about to visit for a little while yet. Like, until we have a particular party member in the group, but... Oh, these guys. I remember them for some reason. Don't they have an item I need or something like that? Chestnut. Wait, is this where it starts getting difficult? Those guys should have been dead by now. Heh. 100 damage. You're doing alright for yourself, Garnet. Maybe equipping you with the air racket was a good idea. Like, maybe it's based on magical attack or something, how much damage that does? This is so bad, Javelin. I mean, they can use tier 2 spells, but it's barely doing any damage to us. Level 2 black magic already? That's only 60 points. He rushed it. Like, he was too eager with his build. Like, he learned a spell that he wasn't ready to cast yet. It's like he doesn't have enough MP or something. Like, monsters actually... Maybe in this universe they work on a different system than we do. Like, if you don't actually have the capabilities to cast the spell, you can technically still do it. But it won't be nearly as powerful. Quan's Dwelling. Haven't we heard someone use that name before? Huh. Where was that? Jeez. Somebody brought up that name, but I cannot recall. Such a peaceful spot, too. Just hang out near the hot spring for a bit, restore your health and magic. I think that was another reason I used this spot, because it was free healing. Every time you came by here, you could just refill yourself without having to spend a tent or anything. Of course, you had to go through this whole walking bit every single time you wanted to heal your party, but... An ether? A lot of magical items in this place. This is actually the one time... There's writing on the wall. Someone measured height here. Let's see. Since 6 months since I adopted Vivi. Still too small to eat? Uh-huh. Well, the game just gave it away for me. Clock has stopped. Must have stopped recently. Oh, it stopped the week before I left Alexandria. That clock, I feel like that plays into something later. Something at the bottom of the ledge in the ocean. Looks like foam. Heh. Interesting that she points that out. Like, this exact spot that we're looking at here, below Quan's dwelling, that's... If you're going through the Chocobo thing, at least, that's going to be a very important spot. And they kind of set that up with the way the weather vane is here, like, reminding you of birds. Just the storytelling, like... A lot of magical items in this place, plenty of ethers, which makes sense because Vivi's magically inclined, and so would Quan. Like, theoretically, all of them have a mastery over blue magic. So, two mages just kind of living in the same place, they'd want those kinds of items nearby. I love it when developers do that kind of thing, when they actually make sense. When they take a mechanic like that, that would be... Final Fantasy 14? What about Final Fantasy 14? What's going on? I didn't get too far in that one. So what are we talking about? From the Hildebrand storyline for Heavensward. Hildebrand! Now, that's a name we actually know from here. Hilda was the name of a character. Like, if you remember correctly, Sid's wife was named Hilda. She turned him into an Oglop when she found out that he was cheating on her. And ironically, he actually named his latest ship after her, which she stole in the process of absconding away from him. Hildebrand, Hildegard... It's probably named after that, so yeah, that's a Final Fantasy IX reference. But what exactly are we remembering here? Like, what's the detail? Is that the name of a character on that ship or something? If so, that's a really cool reference. I mean, it's an MMO, you can get away with putting them everywhere. Hildebrand Manderville, actually. Oh, it's the name of a character. Got it. Hey, trick sparrows. Watch, that would have been just enough damage to take this thing down, too. I'm gonna hit the other one with Marcus now, just to be sure. Provided this thing doesn't also use Drain and screw up the numbers. Quan made a puppet-like creature that's called Vivi, who can turn back time for specific objects. That's kind of neat. I don't think, outside of the typical, like, slow and stop spells, Vivi has any control over time in this game. I want to say something, but that's kind of spoilers for later, but remind me of that. There's a specific okay, I think this is a good enough way of putting it. There's a specific place in the world where we can find really, really good mage equipment. When we're there, remind me that you brought that up, and I will tell you where I was going with this thought process. Because God knows I'm gonna forget. What does IIRC stand for? I don't think that's an acronym I ever got familiar with. Not even undo. See you later, Ryza. Thanks for coming, man. Always a pleasure. You too, man. Say dork. Ah, he's still got level up to learn. Bug killer, undead killer, beast killer. We're fighting birds out here, may as well, right? And we've also got bugs to worry about. It would make sense for him to have the cover ability. He's got enough health for it to work, but that's a lot of points right now, and we kind of need those skill gems in other spots. Yeah, not even undo. This was early on, man. Oh? Well, well, well. A little bit of good fortune out here in the middle of nowhere. Hey, buddy. I could really go for some ore. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything with this stuff. It's just kind of sitting in my inventory collecting dust. If you could find a good use for it, that'd be great. Much appreciated. Please give my best regards to Ladybug. So that was Mr. Ghost, who the Moo led us to. 10 AP for that. And a high potion. So we traded our useless rock for a really good healing item. And this will continue. We just keep encountering the friendly monsters, and eventually... this is actually, here's a little bit of advice for you guys. Do not attack friendly monsters. I'm warning you right now. You think it's a good idea. You think it's gonna be really funny and hilarious. Except for the fact that bad things happen when you do that. There's one friendly monster in particular who some people claim to be the hardest boss in the entire game if you decide to actually go through the process of trying to kill it. Undoes a spell. And tactics advance. Oh, that's interesting. Considering that is a more tactical game, and you wouldn't have to worry about something like... In that game, you'd have time to use a spell like that. When you've got an ATB system like this, that kind of spell would be less than useful. Because you wouldn't have time. It might be like an enemy could just hit you, and then another enemy could throw in a weak attack on top of the big attack that just lowered you down to like 1 HP, until like 100 HP, and you'll only be healing like the extra 10 that you just took. Something like that. It's like robbing Kecleon in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Never tried it, but I'll take your word for it. Ouch. 90 looks like a much bigger number when it's hitting Garnet. Now, you think I would have played those games a little more. I was only part of the DeviantArt group for a while. I miss writing those sometimes. Those little adventures that small little routes and that, what's the name of that thing? Not a Bunnery, the other bunny. The one that evolves into that big, like, diggy guy. I don't remember. But it was those two, and they had a... He'll set his buddies on you. They are legion. I mean, that's a running gag in dungeon crawlers, is don't screw with the shopkeepers. They know people who know people who know people. Bunnelby, that's the one. Like the pre-evolved form, evolves into Diggersby. Thanks, guys. Yeah. I knew what I was getting into. Because I knew Araltz was going to be a really popular character. And I was like, how can I put a new spin on this? How can I do something interesting here? I mean, it doesn't seem like I'm ever going to go back to those stories now. So I might as well tell you guys what the big plot twist was. I was gonna have a moment, like, this guy comes from a village where, everything is kind of set in stone for him when he grows up. Like, his dad is a hero, he's this Gallade who has protected the city for years and years and years. And so this guy, he's like a village hero, essentially. So kid's got a little bit of a pressure to live up to the example that's been set for him. Now, as you'll recall though, routes have two paths for evolution. Part of why he's going on this adventure in the first place is he's looking for a Dawnstone. He wants to get stronger, he wants to get away from that village, he wants to go on this adventure far away from that. Like, he wants to live up to what his dad is, but at the same time, he's not 100% comfortable with the stereotypes in his village. They've sort of got a caste system going on where the Bunnelby are sort of slaves to the psychic types, because they keep all the natural predators away, because all the snakes are poison types. They're weak to them. Symbiotic relationship, that kind of thing. It's like, you guys need us to survive. You're gonna live in this city, you're gonna help us out with the things we don't want to do. Okay, fair trade, and I hesitate to call them slaves. They're treated a little better than that, but that's essentially what it boils down to. The twist to this story is that the two of them have been friends since birth. So he got her out of the city because he was tired of seeing her treated like that. There's a moment in the story, if you go back and read those old things that I wrote, I was kind of building up to this. There was a shadow following them. The shadow eventually takes the form of one of those predators. He's not strong enough to fight it at the time, and this is later on in their story, so he would be evolved into a Curlia at this point. So in order to save his friend, his lifelong friend, he's known since birth, he throws away his dream of following in his father's footsteps and he evolves into a Gardevoir instead. Which, I'm not sure where I was going to take it from there. It's this very touching scene I had built up in my head of, like, he's just concerned about her, like, about her being okay. And she's crying. She's like, but you evolved. And he keeps telling her, and this is a phrase I was going to have be recurring over the course of the series. It's okay. It's okay. Him using those two words to her, it's okay. And in this moment, he really, truly means it. It's okay. It's okay. As he's holding her in his arms. That's the scene I have a bad habit when it comes to my writing style, is I usually know where I want to start and where I want to go. Everything that happens in the middle is usually an enigma to me. I have no idea what I want to do with it. Which, it kind of helped these storylines that's why I thought that writing group would help me out a lot, because the stories they gave me kind of fixed that problem. I kind of had to tailor myself around them a little bit, but they gave my characters things to do in the meantime. Like, I could actually figure it out. They gave me time to, like, build them up, give them room, these little adventures they could go on here and there. I don't know why I stopped doing it, honestly. Maybe I lost interest. No, I know why. I was doing a co-op writing thing with another person, and I kept waiting on them and waiting on them. I wanted to see what they were gonna do, and they just never got back to me. We got into the concepting phases. Maybe we were doing, like, I would write a chapter and she would write a chapter, and we were going back and forth for a bit, and then she just never wrote anything again. And I think it was months later, after I had given up on the Mystery Dungeon writing group thing, that I saw a message from her that she sent to everybody out there, which was, it essentially just boiled down to, I've kind of lost interest in this thing, sorry I let everybody down. A little late for that, but yeah, there you go. Gary was here. Kecleon is a loser. Oh yeah, the Link's Awakening shopkeeper. Guess what? You got it for free. You'll get fucking murdered the next time you come back there. Who's learned what now? I saw a lot of abilities trigger back there. Hey, air racket's at full. Time to go mithril. Up to glass. Haven't learned shell, though, so we can't move back down, question mark, to jelly. Haven't learned level up, but can bump up to mithril gloves. We're gonna need to make sure these guys are strong, too. I'm not just doing it for the sake of doing it. I'm not gonna grind until we get enough MP on Garnet. I'm not gonna do that to you guys. That took days when I was a kid. I'm just grinding enough. I want to make sure everybody's got the best gear they can possibly have. And in fact, I think they do have the best gear they can possibly have. Somebody told me this trick when I was a kid. Like, just run. Have her, like, trigger run a little bit, and then everybody will turn around. It's bullshit. It doesn't happen. Like, sneak attacks don't work that way. It never works in any situation. Like, I think even if somebody else has been made to face towards the enemies first, it still won't happen. I'm debunking that theory right now if anybody tells you that's something you can do in this game. From what I understand, the only way around sneak attacks is to get the alert skill. This is also kind of necessary. Like, this grinding will help us a lot, because there's... Again, like Lindblom, there are a lot of things to spend money on in Trino. It is the city of nobles, after all. They kind of expect you to have money. I think we even get new equipment in this city. So this will pay off in more ways than one. So yeah, that was my plan for those characters. Maybe someday I'll go back to that story. Just write it out the way I wanted to write it out. Like, finish that up, turn it into a book or something. Rename them, of course, into something completely different. I can't use Pokemon. Then again, one of the audiobooks I actually auditioned for on ACX was Diary of a Wimpy Luigi, so... I kid you not, that was the actual name of the book. And I don't know if that's being sold on Amazon right now. Like, I see those all the time, like people name-dropping Final Fantasy. And people talking about other franchises. I don't... Oh, I think I get how Chestnut works now. Maybe that deals damage to somebody based on how much damage the enemy has taken? You know what's the sucky part about this situation right now? Porkachow and Smash left Mallet Town. And Sash left Mallet Town to go on an adventure. Here's the cool thing about that. Because of the way the story was set up, I got to do it in media res. So we actually had some time to work off of. Like, I was given room to leave hints here and there. Sort of little things they do, like the fact that she has to struggle not to call him master, that kind of thing. Like, it's just proper etiquette. It's the way she was taught, but he insists, no. We've known each other since we were kids. This isn't... that's not right. I can't ask you to do that kind of thing. Or was he cagey about it? No, I would have thought about that, because he has no frame of reference. He grew up his entire life in this city, in that village, so he wouldn't think it's weird yet. Yeah, he calls her by name, she calls him Master. No, I remember it now. It's coming back to me. Master was an endearing term, like when she wasn't really paying attention. Like, usually she'd call him by name, but in certain situations where they were all alone... Do I have an ability to cure status yet? Some kind of spell? Panacea. Yes, I do! What? Here's Venom and... Oh, okay. Recover from KO. Alright. We'll find endgame, just be that way. What are some of the more interesting books that I've auditioned for in the past? Nobody ever told me that I was under NDA for this, so I guess I can tell these stories. One of them was called Rated R. The great thing about this audition is I didn't see the description this guy wanted for these characters until as I was sending in the audition. I know you should... Pro tip, don't do what I do and not read what the author wants before you send in an audition. I'm so disappointed he turned me down for this one because we were kind of working on the same wavelength with this one. Without even reading that, I kind of knew what he wanted to do with his main character. Essentially, this was trying to be a subversion of, like, action movie tropes. As the love interest character pointed out, the action movie hero just wants to be a regular guy. And he responds with, "Exactly!" He even said that, I thought, this guy isn't... I know it says that he's 18. However, just for the sake of him being an action movie star, like this Jason Statham kind of figure, I should probably make him sound like Solid Snake. And guess who the author name drops, specifically for that character? You know, people are always making fun of him because they think he sounds like Solid Snake. I wanted to narrate that one so badly, because the description he gave was, I want somebody who can read this like they hate it. And I tried. I swear to you guys, I tried to be as sarcastic as possible. Maybe that's why he didn't choose me. You know what's gonna suck about this? If Garnett gets into trance, there's absolutely nothing she can do about it. She can't capitalize on the situation nearly as well as she should be able to, because she can't use the thing that her trance buffs up. Not yet, anyway. Pump up the damage, guys. Oh boy. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Yup. That's bad times all around. Okay, now I'm getting angry. Maybe this is a good time to practice my suspect takedown technique. Or suspect pickup in this case, in the case of Marcus right now. Oh right, attack power's halved. 'Cause back attack. Maybe discretion really is the better part of valor in this case. Kind of like Grand Summon in a way, basically. It's just you use the Eidolon at its full power. Dork. Might want to go, man. Keep going. Keep going. You'll make it eventually. My god, why haven't I run yet? If he gets hit by Chestnut, we're dead. Like if that one up there uses it. Yup. Nice knowing you, dork. Well, that sucked. When's the last time we saved? It was a long-ass time ago, wasn't it? So, I've decided tonight is just not my night. This is, Yep. Yep. Okay. All the way back here, huh? Yeah. Let me tell you guys, there's some bad things that can happen to you in video games. Like, I've heard a lot of people say all the heartbreak moments they've had in something like Dark Souls, where they lose all that currency they've been building up. Let me tell you something. You don't know true pain until you've lost an hour's worth of work in a JRPG. I think I think I'm gonna get us back to where we were off screen, and that's where we're gonna call the stream for tonight. Because I've got a long-ass weekend to work with, so thank you all for coming tonight, joining me on this little adventure. We'll take care of some of the detail work in a place where you guys don't have to watch me, because I've forced you to watch me pound treasure out of the ground as a chocobo, but grinding? Nah, that's too cruel. Only one of us needs to suffer through that. So thank you all for coming here tonight. I always appreciate it. Especially now that things are getting bigger and more awesome here on Twitch, that the affiliate program might be coming my way soon. The fact that you guys keep coming back, it means a lot. It really means a lot. But before I go, let's read this update on Persona 5 and streaming. Because this was given to me at the beginning of the stream. To our surprise, we saw numerous reactive news articles go up, opinion videos post, and received many emails asking us to please change our streaming policy. Because we want to give players the most access to the game while respecting the original goal, we're now asking players to refrain from streaming or posting video past the end of the in-game date 11/19, when the main story gears up for the final act. So we're almost there. We're almost there. You kind of did it, you just didn't commit. It's like, yeah, I can stream most of the game, but you want to see the end of it? Pay us $60, man, and drop 80 hours of your own time into it, you bastards. Not a perfect solution. But, oh well. It is what it is, everybody. Hopefully companies will learn in the future. Alright, I've held this up long enough. I'll see you later, everybody. Thanks for coming tonight.